So how often do you shave again?
How often do I shave?
Like what, 2 days once or what?
Honestly, it's when I feel like it. I don't know how long I've kept this. Thing is, I shave like the day before Chinese New Year.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, genetically, there are a lot more people that tells me that if I don't shave every day, it becomes it becomes like quite insane.
I don't think I've reached there yet.
Okay.
But it seems like every year my beard goes faster and faster.
Oh.
I realized when I hit like maybe 38 last year was when it actually like started to really be able to grow. So
like if you leave it without shaving at all, right? Like how far can it go?
So far it can really go. Like
you can become
really,
like really, Chinese emperor.
Really can.
Oh.
Really can hear, then this one can hear, then this one start to connect.
Oh. So you can all connect.
Yeah.
And then you become Chinese emperor.
It's just that this part is thicker.
Okay.
This part is not so thick yet. And it doesn't connect all the way yet.
You should try doing that though.
But I tried, so I need to like what I need to do is I shave this part constantly so that this part can catch up. And then this part starts to like this. So yeah.
Okay.
So actually this part kind of Kennedy. But this part it doesn't grow as fast yet. Yeah.
So it cannot catch up with the rest.
Yeah. But it seems like this part only like last year started to really I can become like Chinese emperor.
But I think if you do the Chinese emperor, you need the up.
That's
the
why
mustache part
I need this also.
Like,
I need this also. So that's why I need to like shave this part so that this part can catch up a bit more. Then only I let it like go.
Then become like Wong Xiong Ga Do lah.
Yeah, man. Actually, you know the meme, the old man, white hair, white beard.
Yeah, and then you have some people with you, man sui, man.
Oh my god.
Sort of Chinese drama sort of thing.
Instead of saying bring me my tea, right? I say bring me my beer.
Oh wow. Last time they don't have beer, they had wine.
Yeah, wine. Yeah.
So the wine bowls.
Yeah, the wine bowls or the big jug, traditional Chinese big jug there.
Yeah, the point the bowl that is the chicken design one.
Yeah.
And drink from the bowl.
Yeah.
I don't remember them pouring into small teacups today.
No, they pour into the bowl.
It's always the bowl.
Yeah, always the bowl.
The teacups those reserved for the tea.
Yeah, teacup is the tea. Yeah, no. I mean, I think maybe that because the wine is not strong enough for like the teacup. It's not enough. It's not like the shots, the kind of thing. It's just teacup. That's why you need the bowl.
Right.
So that you sip and then it's enough. Then okay.
Clearly, the small cups cannot because not enough.
Yeah.
That's why the bowl comes in.
Yeah.
The content is enough for one go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and multiple goals, of course. That has nothing to do with our topic of the day. I don't know how to segue that into the topic of the day because it has totally nothing to do with it.
It kind of has.
How?
Because that industry is regulated as well.
Oh, okay, okay. The form of regulation. Okay. So anyway, welcome to Podcast Tak Berlesen. This is another new episode whereby so I was also in preparation for today, I was looking for what are the current topics that we can talk about for today lah, right? And then I found this this article which is by iGaming Business, and they wrote about, the headline is Malaysia Ministry considers stricter regulations, greater protections for booming esports industry. And the one that commented in this article is Media Mahmud, who is the CEO of Malaysia Communications and Multimedia Content Forum, or CMCF, which happened to be an event that I went recently that was hosted by them. So I thought that, reading this article, and then it was also an event that I went recently as well, I thought that would be something that I could share and we can discuss upon lah.
So maybe tell a bit more about what you guys talked about there, because I bet it touched upon a lot of different topics, right? And so many different stakeholders there from many different industries.
Correct.
Right.
Okay. So it was hosted by CMCF, and during that time, there was a lot of people. So they had to break up into two major rooms, and then to individual tables. So the first, the major category of people, they were game devs. They were people who are in the esports scene. Teams, organizers were there as well. Game publishers were there. And then you have lawyers, you have educators, those basically made the bulk of it lah. So we broke up the rooms, and that time, the first room, there were a lot more game dev and also esports related people, or game publishers or esports related people. Yeah, that category. And then I went into the other room, which were more policy people. Like my room had lawyers, had psychologists, had academicians, and people who are involved in regulation lah. So
were there
they went
any
to other room.
surprising people there?
I guess not really. Not really. By surprise, what do you mean is surprising? What was surprising for you?
It's like, who would you not expect to be there?
Okay.
Or was there? Yeah.
So firstly, all the game publishers and the esports people is like, if you're not there, then,
the obvious ones, right?
That's kind of obvious lah, right? Yeah. That category is kind of obvious. I guess the ones that kind of piqued my interest, which is a bit different from the usual gang that we normally see lah, right? There are people who do analytics.
Oh.
Yeah, those kind of companies where they help game publishers to collect market data and all that, to form them lah. So they are like these consultants lah. Yeah, from this analytics company-ish. Yeah. But when we went into that room and then we broke down into our individual respective tables, I didn't get the same table as them. Instead, I met them over lunch. So it was a shorter chat lah. On my table specifically, there was one lawyer.
Okay.
There was one lawyer. There was somebody from Astro who is involved in media regulation. And then there was somebody from MCMC themselves. And there was also academicians. Yeah, so that was generally my table.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess if anyone surprising is probably, surprising, I would say surprising, more interesting. Yeah, would be like the people for analytics, but too bad they weren't from my table. Within my table, I think slightly more interesting is the person from Astro who does media regulation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So because in esports, whether it's esports or gaming, right? Content is always key, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he shares about like how in the media industry actually does regulation. And then I learned that, there are some guidelines that they already have to follow. But then when I asked that, do those guidelines apply to gaming in general? So they said not really as well. So we happen to have the lawyer in our table, and the lawyer also said that, when it comes to gaming, don't have. So I think one thing that surprised me is that, so for example, we talk about movie categorization, right? Like 18 plus and above.
Yeah.
Those kind of things. Or last time we have 18SG, 18SX and all that. I think nowadays they don't use that anymore.
I think they do.
Or there's something similar.
Yeah, I mean, I see 18PL more often. But those movies are like categorized like all into one somehow. I see that more often nowadays.
So there are movies that are parental guidance and all that. PG,
PG-13.
I think that's
PG-13.
the current one. Yeah, PG-13 and all that.
Yeah.
So I just asked the lawyers like, in gaming, do we have like PG-13 and all that for Malaysia context, right? And he says no. And so that's like, okay. So that's kind of like a new discovery to me. Because I thought that you would have lah.
Yeah.
So because you don't have that sort of guideline, and that's where people come together and kind of talk about things along the line. Because you want to say that, I want to just put a PG-13 into everything gaming. It's not as easy as that lah. There are a lot more hurdles to go through.
Because I know US has that categorization.
For gaming.
Yeah. They have categories there as well. But like with parental guidance, the parents still can buy it for the kids. The kind of thing. But like you said, Malaysia doesn't have, So because I know that, like you said, the media does follow certain rules when they air shows and TVs, like the commentators, the hosts, the guests, they are briefed about these things. That's where the whole media training, I think you mentioned a few times before, it comes into play with that. It's not just like how you should conduct yourself or what is good to say. It's about what you cannot say, what you shouldn't say as well. It's those regulations that are in there.
Yeah, even then that covers all sorts of media, right? Like whether it's radio, whether it's newspaper, or whether it's their social medias as well.
Yeah.
So that's the big overarching thing, right? Like how do we, what kind of regulation do we talk about? So from then it break down to a few other topics. So one key thing that we discuss is microtransactions.
Okay.
Yeah, especially with kids using their abusing their parents' credit, for example, to do microtransaction.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think I don't need to explain further on this case, right? We've all heard it before.
Yeah.
So among our table, some of them are parents, and I can tell that whenever it's a topic that is related to parents, they light up a bit more, which is understandable.
Yeah. I guess most of them don't play games themselves, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they have one thing in common.
Oh.
They are all urban people.
They're all urban people, okay. But none of them have played games before.
Okay, I didn't really ask, right? Okay, to be fair. Maybe they do play, so I'm not going to judge. But I think that's besides the point. The point here is that they are all urban people, meaning that they are technologically exposed.
Right.
So if you tell them about there are payment systems in games, like they know that there are payment system in games, right? For whatever games that you want to put out, right? But one of the things that we discussed is that digital literacy is not everyone. If you are from the urban area, then your digital literacy might be a bit low. So you don't know that these things exist. By the time you know it, it might be too late. Yeah, that's where kids abuse microtransactions and all that.
Yeah.
So the gist is that we all agree that there needs to be a level of education to parents on how to control this matter. And education cannot be focused on only parents who are exposed to digital stuff, but also let's not forget about those in the rural areas and all that.
And now it's actually more easy to pay online because last time it would be you need a credit card. Now you can pay through your mobile service. That direct credit, and then you can pay let's say you have Touch and Go and stuff like that that's connected to your phone. You can pay through that as well. So it's like you said, it's maybe if it was just limited to credit card, then urban people would be the people who have more access to that, right? But now even other payment form methods are available, and those other payment methods, even everybody has access. Arguably, like Touch and Go, who doesn't use that? To be very honest nowadays, right? So and the easiest one is the direct carrier billing, which is through your phone, and everybody has that.
Yep.
Right. So it's really important to have that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But there's one thing that became a bit of a back and forth discussion, right? So this way I want to hear your opinion as somebody who's especially involved in marketing and business and all that. By putting regulation on transactions, right? That means that you are also saying that there could be a limit to what transactions could happen. Means limit to a certain amount of business, right? Of course, disclaimer, nothing has been set on stone. This is just something that we discuss upon. So what do you think about limiting the economy in because we want to protect children from abusing it? What do you think?
So I've actually seen games that already do this.
Okay.
So it's not limited by the government or even by the credit card service or payment service. It's the game itself. They actually limit how much you can spend on a monthly basis.
Okay.
Already.
Wow.
And
what
then,
game is that?
I can't remember. There are multiple instances of this happening.
Okay.
So it's sometimes there are several tiers to it. Like for example, if you paid like their premium subscription, then you can spend more. In a way, you get a bit more advantage, you know. But still, there is a limit there. So there are many games that I have encountered that already have this system in place. And I think for me that when you look at payments, right, there are always two aspects to it. One is that you think about what do you pay for in a game, right? So one of the things that you pay for is aesthetics, right? Like the skins that you have in game and so on.
Yep.
There's this meme among my friends that everybody says the skins game is the real end game, you know.
The skins game is
the real end game.
Means that who gets the best and most skins,
yes, that's the real end game. Because you play so long. Like, okay, so one of the games that I know that really does this very well is Warframe. Okay.
So I've not played Warframe.
Oh, okay. So but actually even any kind of game, like you look at Honor of Kings right now, the skins are amazing.
Oh yeah.
Right. Like I mean other games they have amazing skins as well, but Honor of Kings somehow I think it's just the graphics that they use. It is amazing. Right. So I mean you look at those skins that you would honestly, if you could spare, you would just buy them.
Yeah.
Right.
Even though I don't play those heroes, I feel like damn.
Right. So like then that even though that those skins are limited, it's just, oh my god, I wish I could get there, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. So then like imagine this, it's like you go to this shopping mall every single day. And then especially if it's like something that you enjoy. You do play this, or you walk past this shopping mall, maybe this place you like to eat is food, right? Then imagine if you just can just every time you're served, right, they decorate your plate in a certain way or whatever that you prefer, that kind of thing, you know. So same thing with skins. You play so much that why not I just buy a skin because it makes it special now, you know. And then imagine people who like just average person, maybe you play like 5 hours a week, right? Then you already will like play a few months and like, yeah, I main this hero. Then why not I buy a skin for it, right?
If it's main, then sure already.
Yeah, right. But honestly, those hardcore gamers, right? You play so much that there's no such thing as main anymore. Everything is a main. Kinda. Right. So it's like every time. And imagine you already bought skins for all your mains, right? Then even your second go-to heroes, you buy skins already. Right? Then you gotta keep on buying it because it's like, imagine when you progress in a game, now it's your progression in skins.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I collected 99% of the skins. I need that 1 more percent to make it complete.
Yeah,
right?
and then it's like the heroes. You have unlocked 50 heroes, let's say, right? You have skins for 48 of them. 2 more.
Oh, then you're like, yes, something is missing with my account. 2 more. Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, back to the topic. There are games who do this already. They limit transactions, right? And if you think about it, one is of course they buy skins, accessory, aesthetics. Then the other one they buy to progress in the game, right? And progression can be, let's say the max level is level 99 in MMOs, right? Or then you want to get to level 99 faster. Or let's say it's more like you want to buy items that can help you complete different higher level or more harder dungeons faster. You know, so it's more like you pay to complete the game, right? So if you think about it in a way, just they call it like this, the game life cycle, right? So if somebody never bought anything, they never pay for anything, they on average maybe they take 6 months to complete the game, right? If they pay for money, some games is unlimited. They pay for money unlimited. They can probably finish the game in 3 days. You know, some games are like that.
Yep.
Right. But if you limit it, technically what you are doing is you are limiting that even if they buy, it can only decrease from 6 months to 3 months. So technically they have more exposure time there. And then in those 3 months, because they're playing so much, it's over time. They build that habit, they build that stickiness with them, then they might actually pay for other items, which is non-essential to their progression, which is the skins.
Mm.
If you only play 3 days, right, are you gonna buy a skin?
Right. I mean, no lah.
Right, you finish the game ready, you're bored of it, and then like, okay,
go next.
nothing else to do.
Yeah.
But if you have played every day, then progression, then you're like, you see this skin staring at your face every single day.
Yeah, you open it and it's like it pops up in front of you. It's like
games are amazing at doing that, right? It's like open, my gosh, this skin. Then they personalize for you. Your main is this. Oh my gosh, this skin.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right, then you're like, of course. I mean, you see it one time. Okay, you play 3 days, right? You see it for 3 times or whatever. You play 3 months.
Oh,
even 1 month, every single day you open, and you don't just open one time a day. Right. How many times do you open the game a day if you're really addicted? Maybe one as far as every hour, right? So let's say you're awake 10 hours, you open 10 times. You see it 10 times already. Then for one whole week, you see it 10 times. You want to buy. Right?
Yep.
So it is that. So even if they limit it, I think it's okay.
Okay.
Because those games will do it, right? Essentially, you're just extending the life cycle of gamers anyway. You know? So it is just the people who are those games where they just need to understand that, okay, if they're limiting transactions and so on, I need to change the way I monetize. Yeah. So from my whole model of these people, we only play my game for 3 days minimum. Now they will play 3 months minimum. What are the different things that I take into account that I can monetize from them? Let's say 3 days they play. Then it's like, okay, they're not gonna have much exposure. They want to be where they're very like, I just want to complete and show off to everybody. So you give them the show off package kind of stuff, So maybe it's like you use this, you got have 9,999 EXP rate, all this kind of stuff, right? Then you hit one monster, you level 1 to 100 straight up, that kind of thing. Right, then you just grind your skills very fast, then you get everything, you can one hit all the bosses, you give them that kind of package, right? But if they have 3 months to go and do it, then you have other things that you can add in. Okay, the skins, the other stuff like progression, or you bring your friends along because you're there more longer already, right? So you just change the way that you go about it, right? So I think limiting it, because I'm pretty sure that when these regulations come into play, it won't be to the point where it kills off the game. Because the country still needs, the game does drive the economy as well. So it won't be that bad, right? So there will still be a way to navigate these things. Right? You just need to know what's the playing field. So yeah, so I don't think it is more of like, I would take it as a challenge compared to like, oh no, something's going to happen.
What we discussed also was the target audience, which is kids. So kids legally is categorized below 18 years old.
Yes.
Yeah, that you cannot, so to speak, you cannot make your own judgment. Right?
Yeah.
So I guess your model, would you say that you will have 2 separate models then? So for kids, then you probably go for that. Then if audience who are like 18 and above, then, do whatever you want.
I will have separate models, but I wouldn't exactly go about it in that manner. What I would go about it is more of like what kind of time they have and what kind of money they have access to. Because let's say you're a kid below 18, you don't exactly have access to that much money unless you use your parents' credit card, but most won't, right? So maybe there are a lot of things like they will save up for skins, but they might not necessarily be able to buy items that increase their progression, but they make up for it by having a lot of time. They have like maybe 6 hours a day compared to the working adult who only have 3 hours. And what working adults tend to want to do is that they want to achieve the same progression as the person who has 6 hours a day. So the difference is they have the money to pay for it. So you would be able to sell the packages to increase the progression faster. So you just pay 3 hours, you have roughly 6 hours worth of progression compared to a free-to-play player. So yeah. But I think when it comes to below 18 and above 18, it's more about I think the addiction part already, because if you cannot make judgment properly, then you are more likely to just become like addicted to, you want to chase the reward that you cannot get, right? That's where you tend to spend more and more and more, because there's this reward. Maybe there's a maybe 0.01% chance of getting it. Then you just keep on spamming your credit card or purchases until you
or
get
mom's
it.
credit card.
Yes, exactly. So that's where, like, if you're talking about that kind of perspective, then I think it is a bit different already, because you're not exactly talking about regulation just when it comes to how much you can spend. It's more about how much should you let unsupervised kid spend.
The behavior of it.
So it is more about that. It's like I think in a way it's more of an ethical question than anything else. But there is something that we do have a responsibility to understand that, there are kids, there are certain things that you can sort of abuse, that you just make them want to spend more and more, right? So then you got to be careful of that that kind of boundary that you have. So,
I think that's a really good point, right? Like the spending is like at the end of the funnel already.
Yeah.
But if you want to tackle something, maybe tackle it from the beginning.
Yes,
which is the potential addiction and just the feeling of you want the dopamine every time you press the spend button, right? Sort of thing.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, I think that's an interesting angle to look at. In that same forum as well, or at least on the same table, one of the other things that we also discussed is the online harassment. The exposure to online harassment, whether it's grooming or indecent acts and all that. And I believe that one of the things that sparked this topic also was the news towards the end of last year, the school stuff and all that led to this. So of course, so I learned this one new term from our discussion. And this term caught my attention. It's called safety by design.
Okay.
So safety by design means that when you design something, right? Whichever module of the game or the game itself or whatever, you have safety in mind when you design it, rather than, okay, you already done the whole thing, it's fun to play, it's entertaining, it's easy to access, easy login, then you release to public, then only you think about the safety features.
Right.
Then it becomes a reactive situation rather than a proactive situation.
Yeah.
So that's a term that I learned that I found kind of interesting as well. But of course, this is no doubt a very, very important topic on how kids interact online as well.
Yeah.
But this is also, again, something that I've shared, and I probably shared this a few times already, and I believe strongly in this, which is the attachment theory. Yeah. And the attachment theory, and I shared this to the table as well, say that parents need to create that safe space, safe environment for kids to be able to express themselves to the parents. So for example, when the parents ask, hey, how's your day? Like the kids should be able to like just share whatever. And if it's kind of like a routine conversation, then that's okay. But along their very innocent sharing, and kids can be like that, this is where parents can probably pick up things like, oh, you talk to someone new online, right? And then that's where you can probably try to prompt a bit more. It's like, oh, who is this? What's his name? The kids' conversation. And then you slowly try to get to the point that you want to, right? Whether it's somebody safe to discuss or not.
Yeah.
Whether it's, you find that, it's actually his classmate.
Yeah.
Or a new kid that transferred to the school and he made a friend. Okay lah. But if all of a sudden it says, is this Coco,
This Coco.
Yeah, this Coco, then
maybe sometimes this Jie also,
It could be. yeah. I'm not going to judge, right? It could be Coco, it could be this Jie, who suddenly says stuff, right? Whatever it is, like leads towards grooming.
Yeah.
Then that's where parents need to kind of get involved. But you know what? From learning that term, then that's where the parents on the table starts to talk about like, okay, it would be nice if like nowadays we talk about how AI can help to detect stuff, right?
Yeah.
What if AI can help to like detect some of these red flags and parents get a notification somehow, whether it's by email or whether it's, WhatsApp messages or whatever lah, whatever channel, right? Get a prompt somehow, and parents have a way through their parent channel to investigate this. So that was something that they talk about. But of course, this is more on the game dev side of things, which I think sounds kind of cool. I would say.
Yeah, it is kind of cool. But like, I think it would be quite, how do you say, resource intensive, or maybe not so feasible or viable to implement, because like when you talk to about that, right, the parents, right, they have that channel, sure, but who do they talk to resolve these things?
Exactly. So you know what, from this particular topic, it led to another topic that's also very important, which is, if you are a big game dev,
right,
sure, you probably have the resources to find ways to implement all this and all that.
Yeah.
But if you are an indie game dev, right, or if you're just an SME who just started and all that, student project and all that, you won't have the resources to actually do this.
Yeah.
So then it becomes something that we discussed, right? That would it limit the potential of new and upcoming game devs in Malaysia just because of, this is implemented. So then there becomes But the whole point of what we discussed is not to come to a conclusion. It's just to table stuff for CMCF to take as a data point and look at what are important for them later. Yeah.
But to add on to that, right, I don't think it's just indie gamers, indie game devs that would be affected. Even the big publishers would be as well. Because imagine they need to do this, right? Do they have the resources? Yes. But because they need to spend that extra resource to do this, right, then it might be less viable for them when they do the market study to say that I should include this country in my publishing strategy.
Okay.
Then they might be like, okay, I can be present here, but I might, because I publish officially in another country. If they want to use it, they use it going through that country servers. And that way I don't need to do this extra resource for QA to happen. Because they might be, sure, I want to publish in Malaysia, but there's this such regulations here. And they say, the potential outlook of the revenue that I can get just makes it not worth it for me to publish here. So I won't even enter your country. So maybe that game might not even become available officially in your country at all. So it will also, I would say, scare off some of the bigger game publishers as well, not just indie.
Oh yeah, I think that absolutely makes sense.
Yeah,
that absolutely makes sense.
Yeah, it's a careful line to really draw. So, but I do really like your attachment theory, because I feel in the end of the day, right, you can, what other people do in your household or to your kids or with your kids, you cannot really fully control, right? And then there's always they call this edge cases that happen where nobody intended for it, and then it just happens because nobody thought it would happen that way, or it could happen that way, and then when it comes to that, right, if you have good relationship with your kids, open communication, you have that safe space with them, right, they are more likely to share these things with you, and you can tackle it with them as parents. And then if you're, I think this is where education comes into play very much. Like if all parents know like the dangers, and then how do you navigate these things, like without being too restrictive, because kids do need to learn through games and stuff that they enjoy. That's how they socialize and so on, right? So it is important to allow them that, but you need to be educated on the certain risks that might happen, so you know how to tackle it, and you know how to create the space for them to be able to talk to you about these things as well. So yeah.
Yep. And just by using this method, right, you don't need to worry about like, oh, there is a digital divide
Yes.
and all that. It is just
Yes.
human interaction.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's very natural. So
Yeah.
don't need to worry about, I don't have the internet. I live in certain parts that have electrical limitation. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So that's why I see that this is a very, I won't dare to call it a simple step. Like, I think it takes a lot of effort to do it, and it takes a lot of skill as a parent to do it. But it is a low barrier to entry step.
Yeah.
To perform.
Yeah.
So that's something that we shared, because when we discuss on our table, then for each and every table, there has to be a sharing on a summary of what we talked about the entire day. So I can say that those were some of the key points for my table, at least. There was another table, which is a game dev heavy table. They were talking about the attention economy.
Okay.
Yeah. So games are designed to gather attention.
Yeah.
And that's basically how their economy works.
Yeah.
Right. So if there are too tight of regulations that might want to limit certain playtime, for example, then it becomes kind of hard for game devs.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about this?
I mean, they've tried this in China, so which actually backfired because it never really worked.
Really?
They limited it to like you can only play 4 hours a day. But
I thought they still have that, or they already reversed it.
I'm not sure whether they reversed it.
Okay.
But what I do know, people just found proxy accounts.
Okay.
So it didn't work. It backfired because, not say it backfired, but more like it wasn't sustainable. Officially, even though you can only play 4 hours, but people still found workarounds behind it. So yeah, because I think it's like, that's why I meant like just now where I say like you can restrict it, but it cannot be too restrictive, because sometimes if it's part of the culture and behavior already, right? People will still find ways around it. So sometimes you gotta just accept it and adapt. So yeah, so you can educate and work with them to, like, let's say that they're playing like 10 hours a day, and then they are really addicted to the point where they just glued to it. You cannot break them out of it. Then that's where, like, I would say you do interventions in a way, like slowly you try to wean them away from it and things like that. So yeah, instead of just put a blanket rule, then they'll just find ways around it.
Yeah, and the last time I had when this news kinda came out, then I had a chat with Shalma, and then of course between us, the first thing that we thought about is what's going to happen to esports in China. With this regulation, because a lot of players start off really young. Some of them maybe in their early teens, like 10 years old, 11 years old. They start to be really good at the game. They get scouted. Then by the legal age of playing, maybe 16. Normally, game titles at 16 you can play pro, right? So at 16, then you start to play pro. But if you have that limitation of like, you can only play 4 hours a day, right? Then how would the growth of new esports athletes happen? So that became kind of like a topic that we talked about. But of course, those are quite obvious outcomes that we thought of. Whether it will be revised again after that or not, not that I've heard any news.
Yeah.
I don't think we will go to that direction. Because of course there are, besides cultural considerations, there are also considerations of how you want to effectively implement it. In fact, I think that from last I heard about the underage social media restriction thingy, I don't think it has been implemented though. I don't think so. I saw an article that said that somebody was kind of just saying that we should still progress towards it, but no news about it will be implemented. Right. So I think that can be kind of used as a case study as well. If somehow you're able to do that effectively, clean, nobody complains, everything nice, right? Then that is transferable towards how you want to regulate gaming. But if that one also like kind of like, oh man, I want to do it. I said it.
Yeah.
But now we're talking about implementation. It's not as easy.
Yeah.
So then I guess we will need to observe what happens there first.
Yeah.
I think what they are also finding early to be a roadblock is the key thing, which is how do you identify the audience? You can use eKYC, but from what I did ask this question with the game devs as well, because it's a related topic in that forum too. And what do they think about eKYC? So in their opinion is that eKYC's way of running the backend is that your data will be exposed to the government. Your personal data will be exposed to the government. So that's where it becomes a bit of
because
tight discussion
because like it is when you expose it to Malaysian government or any one government, they need to really change the way that they structure their games and at the back end level, because there are other countries and regions across the world like that have privacy laws as well, and which are and which every game needs to be compliant towards. Like the one like the GDPR, that is the one that you need to follow, and each country sometimes has different guidelines towards it. So if Malaysia does it, then you be exposed. Then like, how do you make sure it's only like, for example, if it's mandatory to allow this certain amount of data to Malaysia government, then how do you make sure it really does only give to Malaysia government, and that data make sure it's stored correctly and so on, and it doesn't get exposed to the rest of the world, because if they breach through that some breach happens, then it's breached, and then that data gets leaked to like other regions like EU. Technically, you're in violation of GDPR. So then the repercussions are just like, it's a domino effect all the way. So yeah.
Or even worse, is exposed to like scams.
Yeah, I mean, we all get all these scam calls and text messages so often nowadays, whereas AI is being used for scams. So yeah, who knows
exactly
what's that data the moment it gets out, then what's going to happen, right? So yeah.
Yep, exactly. So I guess those are just some of the concerns. Like, eKYC on a broader scale, yes, sounds like the way to identify, but what happens at the back end and all that, there are a lot of other considerations. That's where the implementation probably gets a bit more complicated than how it sounds. But of course, there are models that's already done by Australia, for example, and I believe that the relevant parties, they are looking into these kind of models and see how it can be done for our context also. Because basically it cannot be a one-to-one copy because culturally we are also different.
Yes.
Yeah. So there are a lot of other considerations.
And I'm sure the systems that we use and they use is also different.
Yeah.
So it's not as blanket as let's just do the same thing.
Yeah, let's just he press this switch, we also press this switch. Done.
Yeah. I mean, if the whole world used the same system, sure, you could do that. But it's not as easy as if everybody was using like Google Drive or something like that, Like, I mean, even in between Google Drive, there's some people are using other, like someone's using Dropbox, someone's using iCloud and so on. Then the transfer between that is not exactly copy paste. Yeah, so not as simple.
Correct. So I just want to, just a side add on to what we have discussed that day. So one of the other things that we also talk about is that when you play games, so for example, we say more competitive games, say PUBG Mobile, for example, right? Sometimes you just matchmake with people who are not your age.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm an adult player, I'm in my 20s, but I matchmake with this 9-year-old kid.
Yeah.
For example.
Yeah.
But he's damn good at the game.
Yeah.
Right? He's damn good. And then when we will obviously use in-game comms to talk how to play the game, right?
Yeah.
So when I talk to him, is it a violation?
Yeah.
Right. The fact that you're talking to a 9-year-old, right? So I believe that of course there has to be context to it also. So it cannot be just limiting to like 9-year-old kids can only talk to 9-year-old kids. If you limit that, then what if you matchmake? Then how?
Yeah.
And you cannot limit the matchmake, then your user base will be too split.
Yeah.
Maybe. And then you have the other side question of discovering new talent.
Yeah.
Maybe this adult who is actually Man Parang, just giving example context, right? It's actually Man Parang, and he happened to play rank and match with this 9-year-old kid, and he's like, hey, this kid damn good.
Yeah.
Can I bring him on to my team and we groom him as an academy player or whatever, right?
I mean, how many new players have that in PUBG Mobile? They find them when they are like 13, 14.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot.
Legally, they're not allowed to even sign to PMVPL or PMSL yet. You can get it on the team, but they cannot play yet.
Correct. There has been these cases before.
Yeah.
So if you remember this team called Genexus, and one of the main guys in it was Biu Biu.
Yeah.
Right. So Biu Biu, so there was this young player called Long before this. Now he's actually playing in China. PUBG Mobile China. So he was one of those examples of he was below age. Somehow Biu Biu discovered him. Don't ask me how. Somehow Biu Biu discovered him. Maybe they play randomly. He thought that he's good. Whatever. Biu Biu kept him in touch. Like maybe he's just play scrims or play with the team. Be mentored by Biu Biu lah, basically.
Yeah.
And then when he's of age, bam, straight to PMPL.
Yep.
And then from PMPL, I think he played a few seasons in PMPL in our region. Then he got signed to a China organization. So this is how that discovery phase can happen as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think one of the most ironic things, right? We talk about toxicity and all that kind of stuff, right? If you get a match made with a 9-year-old, right? The most toxic person is usually the 9-year-old.
Yeah.
So then, like, is that a violation of toxicity? Because technically, it's the 9-year-old being toxic.
Yeah, it came from them.
We didn't do anything. Then that guy starts raging against, right? They're like,
I know, right?
How do you deal with that?
I know, right?
It's like grooming. No, the guy did it himself.
Yeah.
Like you abuse. No, the guy did it himself.
Yeah.
So and then but now instead it's the 9-year-old abusing us. So like, can we like counter him instead of now the rules supposed to be against us, but now can we apply the rule to him instead? Right. Yeah. So then, but what if like they're all 9-year-old and then they all get toxic against each other? Then, but they're all underage. So how do you do that?
Then how?
But that's a funny situation that could happen. You think about it. Yeah.
There's so many scenarios that can happen, right?
But I think that really is something, because like honestly, most of the people who are toxic, right, are the ones who are underage. The majority lah,
I have to agree.
Right. Yeah. And then the guys who are older, like you and I, we go in just whatever lah.
Yeah, whatever lah. Win, lose, doesn't matter. I just come to play for fun.
Yeah.
If anyone starts to like your mother green and all that, I'll just press the mute button and I just play my game lah.
Yeah,
I don't care
the
lah.
mute button there so easy. Just mute everything. Mute sound, mute general chat. Don't need to care.
Yeah, then I just play my game however I want to play lah. Win, lose, it doesn't matter for me.
Yeah, then they go and ping it all day long. Just mute the whole game sound lah. Don't need to do anything.
If I wanted to, right?
Mute the whole game sound. Play my music. Just play lah.
Yeah, options are there.
Yeah. So, but it's usually the young ones who are like very aggressive. They feel the need to express themselves, I understand self-expression, but it gets too far lah.
Yeah. But that's of course a whole new topic that we can talk about like ethics and how people can behave in front of a screen, but in front of other people is totally different.
Yeah. So you see, that's why the parents important.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because if the parents will be like, wow, you dare to say that then what if they try it in front of them, then they get their own medicine, then they can teach the kid. Right. I am 100%, 200% down with parents, being very involved in this. Yeah.
But of course, sometimes parents will also say, it's not only us, the system also has to support.
It is true. It is true. Yeah.
Education has to support and all that. Schools have to support and whatever.
Yeah.
Sure, right?
Yeah.
I agree. But this is what I personally think, like, if I categorize like hours spent for the children, say for example, they spend like what they go to school 7 o'clock in the morning, they leave school at 1, so that's roughly about 6 hours.
Yeah.
Right? majority of the time they will be spending at home.
Yeah.
Whether is the parents are at home or whether the parents are out working, that's besides the story. But the point is that they spend majority of the time outside of school. So who is responsible for the kids outside of school?
It's the parents.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's how I would just put logic to it lah.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe we're not parents, so we don't know lah. So
yeah,
but
true.
still, it is like you said, there are so many parties involved. But I think we all just gotta put our heads together to kind of see, like, the game developers what need to jump in on some things, government bodies jump in on some things, and the parents jump in on something, and so on.
Yeah.
Right. So
which I agree. But that's where I put on my educator hat lah, to say that I only spend this amount of time with your kid. And that's how I came up with that logic lah. Majority of the time is you all. Yeah. But I do agree. Everybody has a part to chip in, and that's where in our many discussions between us also, we talk a lot about the importance of education.
Yeah.
If we feel that it's not part of the chili, I wouldn't be talking about the topic in the first place. Yeah. So I understand parents do have their own struggle. They have to work at the same time. They have to deal with whatever crap that happens in the office. You can just imagine parents scenario, and then you have to deal with this at the same time. So that's where they say that raising a kid, it takes a village to raise a kid lah.
Yeah.
That includes all of us in the community.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess related to that forum, it is more of a gaming centric sort of discussion. Yeah. So that's pretty much the gist of it. But now, as our next part of our today's episode, let's move to esports instead, right? What are the kind of regulations that, in your opinion, can help the esports scene in Malaysia?
There are countries who have implemented like licenses, right? Like Philippines has a license for you being esports player, and then Indonesia
even as a talent,
talent as well. So then there are countries who do licensing for events as well, and I don't think it's just for esports. Like, there are other bodies who oversee different aspects of different industries. And I think in the end, what happens is it's not just about them like governing it, then you need to apply and pay a fee and so on, but they're setting the standards for certain things, right? So there's so much, I would say, issues people would say rampant in esports. And I think when you look at it at the different tiers, for example, like the community tier, semi-pro tier, and then you go a bit like, to me, I go above is like tier 2 and tier 1. Right? Tier 1 is a professional league already. There are challenges there, but the challenges there, I think, is more towards like how do organizations, they stem from how do organizations stay sustainable, more towards that. But when you go to the other tiers, it's like they might not even know how to properly run an esports team. So like usually you just gather a few players, form a team. You have one person who's the team manager that essentially is the driver. Then go to competitions and tournaments and you win much money. That's it.
Don't team managers become drivers?
I mean, they are essentially the drivers.
Right.
So yeah,
somebody told me the term is glorified nanny.
Glorified nanny. Yeah, but yeah, that's then, like, when the professional teams, they have like coaches, analysts, and some even more with more elaborate support staff, and facilities as well. And I think that regulations will really help in terms of how do you one, make that the standard to aspire to, so I know it's not as easy as saying that everybody should be a licensed team or licensed organization, and then you pay this certain amount of money to go through a review and audit and then stuff like that. But it's not as simple as that, but maybe what licenses can do is like they give you certain benefits and privileges when it comes to dealing or access to different kind of stakeholders or grants and so on. But it's because you as an organization can uphold that certain level of standard. You know? Yeah. So I think like because I've been in so many different aspects, or rather worn so many different hats, not just in jobs but in the different like entities there are. I've been in esports teams, the esports organization, the EO side as well, then a publisher side for a bit, for in some aspects. So all of these are like they all have standards, right? But not all of them have the resources to uphold them. So, and I feel that those with resources, if they are given certain advantages, not say like advantages is like, how games are pay to win, not that kind of advantages, but they're given certain benefits in, like, for example, they have more access to grants. If you uphold it, because in a way, what I think is the government wants esports to be better. This is the standard that you can uphold, and you take resources to uphold this. Because you do, I give you access to this special grant that's reserved only for people who uphold to this standard. Then everybody else who wants that grant, access to that grant, will aspire to go and uphold to that standard. So I feel like that kind of regulation would be really helpful to inspire everybody to like, this is the standard to go towards, Yeah.
Yeah, and I see where you're coming from, right? So in my opinion, that to be at that certain standard, you don't need to already have like big investment or large resources in the first place. You just need to be able to do stuff properly.
Yeah.
So I guess in my opinion, doing stuff properly would mean that you pay your vendors on time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's do stuff properly, right? Your event does not violate public rules, right? Like let's say if it's a kids friendly event, you don't serve alcohol, for example.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Something like that. So I believe that if you can check all these type of boxes, and all these don't need like, I must have 100 staff to do the thing to make it really like nice, tier 1 level competition. No, it's not that. It's about you're able to follow all the ethical guidelines.
Yeah.
Then you're deserving of the licensing. From that licensing, then if there are grants out there, like the KBS grant, what's it called again? Dana Isukan. Yeah. Like for example, right? Like the Dana Isukan comes, those with license will have first hand.
Yes.
Either first hand, or maybe they want to do it in a model. Like those with licenses will have bigger grants.
Yes.
Those without, we can still give it to you, but you get the smaller ones because you need to earn our trust first.
Yeah.
Where the bigger ones the ones with license we're giving bigger because technically they have earned our trust.
And also you do need a bit more resources to actually uphold those standards, man. So I guess the bigger grant is, I would say it is warranted.
To scale,
okay. It is fair to give them.
Which is fair also, right? Maybe some extra resources just to uphold certain standards.
Yeah.
Depending what the standards could be.
Yeah. So I think like, it's like how accounting, that's ACCA.
Yep.
So ACCA is a standard that all accountants want to, go towards, right? So similar lah. Yeah. So then, but not everybody has ACCA, right?
Correct.
But it is still the standard that everybody goes towards. So
correct. So just to add on some of the things that I discovered, how the license affects those who in the Philippines that they got, it's under the amusement of something. When it's not called esports license. Yeah, it's something amusement, something like that. I forgot the exact terms, but I did ask her like, what does this license now? It's a card that entitles you to. So those who got it, they can use it for certain discounts at whichever of the partners, right? Which I thought it's pretty sweet because you don't need to pay for anything to get that card. So if you get it for free. And so happened my favorite coffee has a partnership with them.
Yeah.
Perfect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a form of appreciation to you who is doing the good work for that part of the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's pretty nice as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like those bonuses benefit so that, it's not just like you want to adhere or inspire to reach those kind of standards, but you also get these kind of bonuses, tidbits, benefits. They help along the way.
Hey, and if you know what also, this becomes a monetization for whoever who releases the licenses.
Yep.
Like, hey, then I can partner with all these big brands, let's make a deal out and, do business together, basically, right?
Because because people who are supervising or governing these licenses also, they need to make sure that the people who get the license are properly audited and make sure they are really following, these certain rules that are set. So they also need people to go around doing audits and checks and so on and so from here for every now and then. So that's some kind of resource that they need. And like you said, having this kind of partnerships going on, it helps them. So yeah.
Yes. So that's pretty nice. That they have it, and they are the only country so far that I've heard that has individual licenses like that. Which is the Philippines. For me personally, what I would like to see regulated regulated in the esports industry specifically is the human capital of things. So what I mean by that is that it's also relevant to something that I've wrote recently as well. So the scenario is that so we have an industry friend who is specialized in League Ops. So he was doing League Ops for this one event, and then while he was working in the event, as League Ops, you stand a lot, right? Yeah. While he was doing the event, suddenly he collapsed because he got a stroke during the event. Now his age is late 30s, doing League Ops. Very experienced guy. He got a stroke during the event, then immediately rushed to hospital, all that. So I got to know from our industry friends, and then I contacted him directly, right? And then I asked him how's his condition. Good that he has recovered now. Of course, there are some motor skills that he kind of lost along the way, but he's about there, right? You could still see him as a normal person. However, his medication costs a bomb because it has to be continuous medication. And it costs a lot of money. It can go up to like 5 figures or something like that a month. And think about it, right? So a lot of people who work in esports here, a lot of them are freelancers, right? There are some lucky ones who probably attach themselves to companies and they get regular benefits just like any other employee in Malaysia. But if you're a freelancer, you're not covered under the Employment Act.
Yeah.
So when you're not covered under the Employment Act, access to SOCSO, EPF and all that is not there. So this became a problem to this friend of ours that he had to pay everything of his medication by himself. So imagine you're a freelancer. If you work, you get money. You don't work, you don't get money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then now this thing happened, you have to bear the cost yourself. So they asked him, okay, do you have any medical insurance personally that can cover you? He says no.
Ouch.
So that becomes, of course, another discussion on like financial literacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? But putting that one aside, if you are a normal employee, this incident happened when you're working, SOCSO automatically covers you. Yeah, a certain amount, whatever. You still have that sort of, at least something to fall upon. But now this guy has zero. So this is where around the same timeline came out this Gig Workers Act 2025 that provisions gig workers, and by that term gig workers is those delivery riders and all that delivery riders, to be entitled to SOCSO basically, right? among all the other things. So I saw this as hey, I thought this was this is a interesting point that can it be also be implemented to people who are working freelance in esports. So I believe that we went to this one meeting where YB Adli, that time he was still the deputy minister. Then I got the opportunity to tell him in person that I think that our category of freelancers can be included in this act as well, because we need to safeguard them. All right. Yeah, he gave me it's a good idea. But after a couple of weeks, he changed role to the Ministry of Higher Education.
Yeah.
And then basically whatever I tell him, whatever that he like a cool idea, all is like reset.
Okay, maybe he can do it in education instead.
I don't see it as a need. He has other problems at education to talk about.
He can educate people about that.
Yeah, technically. It's like, if you finish uni and you're going to do freelance work, this is what you should know.
Yeah.
Get insurance.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, right. Yeah, then change of minister and all that. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was something that I managed to write, do a piece of writing. Whether it's picked up by anyone or not, I don't know. But that is my opinion, that if there's any regulation to come in, is to come in with a human capital regulation.
Yeah.
One is that. Another very common thing that you and I have heard very often, people not getting paid.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think like I feel that aligning with the gig workers act and all this, right? When it comes to payment, late payment very common. No payment not as common, but happens as well. Right. And both of these are like impact gig workers a lot. So for me, I feel that if they could have some form of protection, so maybe it's regulated in a way where the companies might be still held accountable somehow, or there's protection from the government to kind of still, if this happens to them and they have some official black and white and documentation somehow, and they can submit it and they can receive some sort of reimbursement, Yeah. So it's similar like how like when if you are retrenched, there are some protection there, right? So I think like regulations would really be helpful in this point, right? So it's not just because like you just this kind of issues happen very rampantly, but on the other side, freelancers also, they are not exactly super well paid. That they can have savings, or rather a lot of savings. In
I will
abundance.
argue that they can still have savings.
They can say so. Yeah. So maybe they can be tiers towards these things. So, but I feel that the freelancers who really they are a group of people that one tier that really would need kind of protection, right? Then it's very important that it's either some of the companies are held accountable, and then or there needs to be some way to reimburse them in some form. Yeah, that way these people can actually, it's not just continue in the industry, but I think another the hard reality of it is to just survive. So yeah. So because like a lot you will be surprised at how esports is such a big industry, but there are freelancers who for no matter what reason they probably don't really make minimum wage every month.
Yeah, which is true.
Yep. So like these are like, and that can lead to social issues along the way. So yeah, it's important that this is looked into. Then like hopefully some like the gig economy can also apply to them. And there's some other things that they can, insurance coverage or somehow they can get as well. So yeah.
Side quest. I like that you brought out the whole EPF thing because recently EPF has declared a dividend of 6 point something. Yeah, which is actually very, very good because on average people would expect EPF to come out with 5 point something. So this year was one of the higher declarations that they say, 6 point something for EPFs. And that's where you see all across news here and there, like people are like, showing off their EPF account, whether it's real or not, whether it's Photoshop or not, it's a separate story, right? But the whole point is that people are talking about the whole EPF thing.
Yeah.
But there is a group of people that I notice, and when I say this group of people, is people within our esports circle, not to be named, that says that I regret not contributing to EPF.
Yeah.
Because if you imagine this, right, 6.7% may sound like tiny money. Okay. But imagine if you save up somehow to 1 million in your EPF, 6% is 60,000 just like that.
Yep.
Exactly, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But of course, there is already like when you have 1 million. But this is where we talk about compounding interest.
Yeah.
You start off small, maybe your first 10,000, it compounds. And then you keep going in, it compounds. And then one day you will hit the 1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think you don't even need to hit 1 million. You just need to decide, like one day maybe you want down payment for a house, down payment for a car. So those are like, because when you put it in EPF, it's like you put it in savings. You don't plan to take it out, And technically you can only take it out for those few things. Buy a house, buy a car, and so on. Right. So those are big expenses to save up for. And if you continuously, like just every month you put 100 ringgit in there, by the end of the year you get 1.2k, right? And then by year number 2 you get 2.4k.
And don't forget about the interest as well.
Not yet. Yeah, then you interest go on. Then that's gonna shorten your time for, let's say you put in like every year you put in 1.2k. Instead of saving, let's say 10 years for like down payment for a car, right? Like for 100k maybe you down payment 10%. It's like 10k there, right? You're saving, you're probably gonna end up only spending like, instead of 10 years, you spend maybe 6-7 years only. So that's that. In the long run, it really helps. So that's why, like you said, compounding interest and just saving up for that kind of milestones, like your car, your house, and so on.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's where I would argue the point that sometimes people say that, I don't earn a lot, But if you ask me, if you save that 1 cup of chaji, right?
Yeah.
The 2 cups of chaji is almost $50 already.
Yeah, bro, teh ice, bro.
You convert the teh ice, right?
Yeah,
right?
chaji $15, teh ice $2.50.
Or you save that lamb biryani that costs $40.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Then you eat nasi lemak instead, right?
Yeah.
That amount can be saved into EPF.
Yeah.
And now EPF has voluntary contribution. Which I personally do as well. I also consistently every month I will put in X amount of money inside there. And you know what? Because of this category for last year, so I put in for last year, they will look at people who have contributed X amount. EPF gives a bonus. I got a 3-figure bonus out of and I didn't expect it. I just it's just my normal savings lah. Then it's suddenly EPF was kind enough to give me a 3-figure bonus.
Yeah.
Maybe to some people it's 300 maybe. It's not that much. But then again, it's free money and I didn't expect it, right?
Yeah, 300 can buy groceries for
exactly.
a few weeks one day.
Exactly, right? And I totally didn't expect it. So you see, EPF is also trying to encourage people to do your self-contributions, especially if you are gig workers.
Yeah.
So then they even give out extra incentives for people who do that voluntarily.
Yeah.
So I think it's already there. Should there be regulation around it? I think this one not so much on regulation. I think it's more on educating the gig workers in esports who are totally not aware of it. And the amount of people from one of our episodes, we talk about taxation. They don't even declare. If they don't even do that, then you don't expect them to know much about EPF.
Yeah.
right? Because when you fill out your tax, there's an EPF column that if you contribute to EPF, you can do tax deduction.
Yeah. I mean, there can be one very extreme way, right? Is that, let's say, all gig workers, right, freelance, whatever they're paid out, right, a percentage of that is automatically going to EPF.
Just like any other employee.
Yeah.
Normal employee.
Yeah. So
I would agree with that.
So like that kind of forces them to save in EPF. You know, and that way they still technically have some reserve over there. You know, no matter what. It's like kind of better than nothing.
I would say I'm definitely down for that.
Yeah.
But of course, on the surface, it's a down thing. Cool. But implementation will be like, how do you track it?
Yes. That's going to be the part.
Yeah, because I believe that if companies hire freelancers, it's considered as an expense.
Yes.
Like you purchase equipment and all that. So how do you kind of categorize it? There needs to be a system behind it that tags it as, this is manpower.
Yeah, again,
amount.
Remember the ease of use, that system, that thing that we were talking about. You want to do it, sure, but how easy is it to use?
Yeah. Then that becomes the second conversation.
But yeah, I think like if there was some way to kind of just force that on, gig economy workers, then that would be great, because like that way, education technically not really needed. They're forced to already.
Yeah, and I mean, even that 50 ringgit conversation, saving 50 ringgit a month conversation that I've had with some people, it just mind blow me when they tell me that I can't even save 50 ringgit a month. Okay, these are, yes, you are a gig worker, yes, but you work in KL.
Right.
So there is always a certain amount like that you and me know that is not bad one. And don't tell me out of the amount that you do gig work in KL, you cannot put aside $50 for savings. To me, I felt that is a personal excuse. So that is where I think that if these people who are in this category, they need to switch their mindset a little bit. The moment they get payment from whatever event that they did, the first thing they do, take out, put in EPF, and then forget about it.
Yeah.
Then you want to spend the rest, how is it? It's up to them. The problem lies when savings become the last thing to do.
Yeah.
That's where you can't even find the $50 to save.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, you gotta really know how to prioritize, and then be aware, like, you do eventually need to have money saved up for the future, right? Even if you look at it in a way where so-called retirement, right? If you retire at 60 years old, right, you're probably going to live until 70, 80, you got 20 years.
I want to have that $1 million so I can get the 60,000 a year,
I know, right? Yeah. If you don't work after you retire, then how much savings do you have?
Correct.
And if you just live month to month, then that's going to be dangerous.
Correct. So if any of our friends who are gig working in the esports industry especially, please plan your savings, contribute to EPF. Now, this is not financial advice, but I know that some people also explore buying shares and all that and all that. Disclaimer, not financial advice, but in my personal opinion, EPF is the most underrated investment scheme that you can get. Super stable. Declaration like 5 to 6% historically. And it's taken care by the government. So it won't close down. So it is super stable spot. Of course, yes, when you're a certain age, only you can withdraw the entire amount. But that's the whole point of it, right? So I think that people need to consider EPF as the first source of savings pot first.
So I think easiest thing, you want to educate yourself, just go and Google this one thing, or you will ask ChatGPT this one thing. In Malaysia, what kind of activity gives you the most interest or dividends? Just research that.
You say, give me the most interest, then will come out football lah, badminton lah.
Or the whole list, get the whole list, you know. So like, let's say and maybe you ask them define it even more, compared to EPF, you know, then that list, then you will see all the different kind of activities that you can do. Yeah.
Exactly. So, I am pretty sure EPF will come out on top.
Yeah.
Not financial advice, December.
Yeah. It's pretty up there.
Yeah,
you know, and
it's definitely up there.
It's safe.
It's safe. The only way EPF will run away with your money is if the entire government runs away with your money. Right?
Yeah, then I think like we go other country, go Singapore lah, go wherever.
Yeah, that's where basically the government shut down lah. So
yeah,
it's not gonna happen lah. Yeah.
So yeah.
So I guess human capital would be something that I'll pay more attention to. It's something that I also shared before with when somebody from the government agency I remember this one day called me to do a bit of a survey lah, and asked me, the whole survey topic was about esports player performance and how they can enhance the blah. Okay. Yes, I answered according to our discussion and all that. It was over a call. But at the very end, I told them, if you don't resolve the human capital of things, which is your player's prize pool gets stolen away by somebody, your player's salary is not being paid, this and that related to your players are treated unfairly. You don't even need to talk about them being the next faker.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the time they just want to like go up, have some potential to be Gumayushi, right? Before being faker or something, right? And then they're like, the industry is like this, or the one, then they just go off. When they have the potential to go one more step to be faker, then you don't even need to talk already. So that's why my opinion is that as much as we're talking about performance and all this, the root cause has to be addressed first, which is this. That could potentially stop upcoming talents. Yeah.
It's that's kind of like one of the biggest roadblocks, right? Like I said, every tier of organization in esports faces different challenges. Tier 1 usually is about sustainability. Then I think especially in the community and the semi-pro, that's where like what you mentioned, you know, the human capital part, like the prize pool goes missing because they transferred to somebody and they thought they will be accountable for it, and so on, and then payment goes to this person for some certain thing that's fulfilled, but then it doesn't go. They are like a third party, not the direct people who are supposed to receive it. So yeah, all of these things, it happens very rampant in I would say, the parts of the community that haven't been exposed to like how professional how the more professional like corporate organizations run things. So
Yep.
So, yeah.
Because just to add on a little bit more, that when it comes to paying salaries up, for example, under the Employment Act, the maximum date to pay salaries is 7th of every month. Beyond that, then it becomes an issue that can be raised lah. But unfortunately, even if you're a player, you are not bound to the Employment Act.
Yep.
Because you are not an employee per se.
Yeah.
So that means that all these, or you have to get paid latest by the 7th of every month. It doesn't apply. Minimum salaries doesn't apply. SOCSO, EPF doesn't apply. So then it becomes an issue when people take advantage of these people.
And that is if you even have a contract at all.
If you even have a contract at all. Exactly.
So some contractors, like players, they are contractors. Inside the contract is stipulated at what day of the month they will be paid. Then you have some certain level of protection. You can raise it up, But there are plenty of people out there who don't have contracts.
Exactly.
That one is like, it's a very like, I trust you, you trust me. That kind of arrangement.
And some of them have contracts, but somehow contracts are slavery.
Well, that's a totally different thing.
That's a big problem. But honestly, this slavery contract thing.
That's where the regulation can really come in. Yeah, because like that one is where it is a very obvious case that can be done. You know, and then like sure you can say that people still sign on it, and then they agree to it. Yeah, but if the regulation comes into, technically they can still dispute that kind of contract in by law, right? Because there's certain things that protections by law that can be dealt with it. But if you regulate it in a way where they need to go through some sort of some sort of review or something like that before it's even given out, right? You can run.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, this topic I did discuss with Richard.
Yeah.
Richard, because I shot an episode with him way back. And one of the things that I raised up is that, is this even valid in the first place?
Yeah.
So being a lawyer, so he says it's invalid by itself because it's slavery.
Yeah.
So if you bring to court and you want to argue it, court will say, this doesn't make sense. So it's void.
Yeah.
But of course, then it comes to whether the players know their rights or not.
Yeah.
And if they don't know, then whether they know where to seek help or not.
Yeah.
So this is where if anyone's interested, you can look back at that episode where I had the discussion with Richard, and then he gave even all the possibilities. We discussed all the possibilities of like, okay, you don't have money to hire a lawyer, where you can go. There are channels like this.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if any one of you watching interested, look out for that episode.
Yeah.
You can just scroll all the way down. It's been a while.
All the way.
Scroll.
I think it was one of the first episodes that you actually did, right?
Yeah, we shot at the 079 office. Even.
Oh my gosh, that's how
the
old one, the one in Puchong.
Oh, not that old. The Bandar Utama one. Yeah.
Okay.
Your old office before you came in.
Yeah, but that is still quite old.
By now lah.
By now.
Yeah.
Okay.
We still had a nice nice spacious setting. We could set up like some RGB lights around. It was really nice. We had a TV. I liked it so much.
But it's okay. This place is nice too.
Oh yeah.
And I think fun fact for people who are watching this particular studio, spot the difference between the different episodes that we've done here.
Yes. If you can spot the difference of the environment, DM me and I'll give you a price somehow.
Yeah.
I'll think about the price later. I don't know. This just came up spontaneously.
This guy need to regulate this.
Oh yeah. Okay. I have to fulfill it now. Yeah. Honestly, there are. I think there are. Of course, there are other things that I thought that can be regulated, but I think this one has to go first.
Yeah.
Then you talk about the others. In my opinion.
Yeah.
You have any others you want to add on?
No, I feel like personally a lot of the things that are more towards like you can make associations or different unions and so called to make sure that this group of people help to always enhance the or maintain the standards of certain practices. That's what I would say is equally important as well. Because not everything can be regulated. Right? But it is always good to know like what are the people say best practices or the updated practices that everyone is doing within the industry. You know, so example, if you go to if you go to game developers, they are very open about the standards that they adhere to and they go towards because it is open source. You can find it out there. People share about it, talk about it very openly, you know? So, but I think for esports, it is quite unknown. And because there's so many technical aspects, right? And so many ways of doing things, that's where like, not as easy for an outsider to kind of understand. And even within the industry as well. So it is not as easy to, gain the kind of expertise or exposure to different levels of work out there. So it would be really good to have not just regulation, but also different parties that can help to let you know what is the standard to go for.
I think you brought out a good point there. So yeah, people can talk about regulation and all that, and who is responsible for the regulation. I guess, in my opinion, it depends on which regulation are you talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, then you can lead to the right person. But what is most important, like what you said, is are the people working on this? Do they really know the industry? Do they really know the situation?
Yeah.
Can they, number one, tell the difference between gaming and esports? Can they tell the difference between CSGO and Call of Duty?
Yeah. And I think very relevant to our industry as well is if you go to a business conference, gaming means something else. And what we are doing is actually video games.
There you go.
Yeah. And esports is a subset of video games. So they need to differentiate all those.
Correct.
And like you said, CSGO versus CS or Dota 5.84C versus Dota 2.
Versus League of Legends.
Yeah, versus League of Legends versus Wild Rift.
What is that? But it looks the same. Don't they have the same characters? Yeah, but...
and then AOV, HOK,
and then Wangzhe.
Oh, it is different. Slightly,
right.
But yeah.
I know, right? That like I guess people who are working on this will need to understand this first, lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if they don't, but they need help, you know, you can slide us or you can slide me a DM.
Yeah.
We can talk about it. I believe that we have done enough to do consultation. So we're happy to have this conversation with whoever who might be working on it, but they need help with.
Minimum 1 day ice.
That's the opening, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Opening.
Yeah.
Day ice, is it?
Opening with the day ice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you want to close however you want, that up to you.
Oh, close is different, right? Yeah, opening day ice is fine, right? Yeah, day ice is fine for opening. We're just saying, yeah, free consultation as an opening. Yeah, not free, day ice, huh? Yeah, we can talk about it. So, but on a serious note, yes, if any of you are the ones working on it and you feel that, yeah, I probably need help to differentiate Fortnite and PUBG Mobile, then sure, like, hit us up. We'll be happy to help. And this is genuinely, we would love to engage with any of people who are working on regulation to, discuss about this.
For me, it really is always about those two. Regulations, there are certain things that should be there. For example, the slavery thing, that's really important to have, right? Because sure, they can go to the court of law to dispute, but they shouldn't even have to, right? Shouldn't even have to. So those things where you shouldn't even have to, some regulation, some protection there, and then the other one is the standards to strive towards. There needs to be that as well.
Yeah, but of course, that depends on whether the people who sign the papers, they know whether this makes sense or not, lah.
Correct.
Also, yeah.
Correct.
Without that knowledge and education, then that's where it becomes difficult. But that's where this kind of content is why we put out there, right? So probably people can be educated about, actually this is how things work. Yeah, and whether they can explore or not, and so on and so forth. So I guess we can wrap up here. What's your final takeaway from today's episode?
I want to do it in a way where it's a bit funny.
Oh.
So, we talk about regulation, but there's also excessive regulation. Right.
Oh, okay.
So imagine, right? So there are some things some industries where you're not supposed to do certain things. Like, for example, stock market, you cannot speculate. Imagine, you cannot speculate in esports. Mr. Clark cannot talk about who might win PFSL anymore.
Yeah, you regulate speculation. Yeah.
Because technically that is speculating. Why are you? You're speculating who's going to win. Speculating who's the strongest team. Because you never know. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You can say on paper this person has won more, but he might lose tomorrow.
Hey, that's speculative already.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Speculate. But
you say he might lose tomorrow, or you have to say he has won more. Then you stop there.
Yeah, then like, but people want to know more. Right?
Cannot. I cannot go beyond what is already done. In the future, anything I say is speculative.
Yeah. but that would be taking it too far. That kind of regulation is taking it too far.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So that I think at this point, like, you know, that while there is good regulations that need to have, we need to be careful. Like there are limits to it, so we don't be too disruptive to things that happen as well. So yeah.
Okay. I think my my takeaway is this. I think two key takeaways from me. One is the importance of involvement of parents when it comes to helping their children be in a safe environment. Again, I emphasize the easiest barrier to entry move is the attachment theory. Attachment theory means creating a safe space, safe environment for your children to be able to share and talk and discuss anything with you as a parent. That is one. And again, why parents play a big role? If anybody wants to quantify it, they spend the most time at home. Yeah, simple as that. Another one is that I strongly believe as well on human capital. Just to summarize, I believe that our workforce in esports is actually really, really good. You know this, how many of our talents, whether they are producers, whether they are observers, you name it, right?
Yeah.
Are sent to do overseas projects.
Yeah.
Many of them. Why?
Yeah.
Because we are adaptable culturally. Language also, we are versatile. And also technical expertise, we are there as well. So that's why we have that. It is just that we need to take care of the people within this workforce. And by doing so, if there is any form of regulation, the Gig Workers Act 2025 can be a baseline on how to implement this into gig workers in esports also to help to safeguard them. Yeah. If not, these people might say that, oh, another person scammed my money. I cannot pay my bills anymore. I just move out and do something else.
Yeah.
Then you would lose this talent. And when I say talent, it's not broadcast talent, not necessarily broadcast talent or players per se, but even like amazing producers that we have are also our talent that we can export overseas. And as a nation building thing, is to also pitch to get these big projects to be hosted in Malaysia as well.
Yeah.
As part of nation building.
Hosted in Malaysia, run by Malaysians as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, we have enough people that can do that.
We have very good project managers. We have very good show producers. We have very good business development people also. But of course, we need to be able to take care of them lah.
Yep.
And that's my takeaway. And thanks for sharing your takeaway as well. So if you have a thought about this topic, what other things that should be regulated within esports, do leave it in the comment section. And if you have a suggestion for our next topic, do leave it as well. Till then, we'll see you in the next episode of Podcast Tak Berlesen. Bye-bye.